In Binghamton, New York, a city of about 200,000 people, major crimes are not unheard of. But every once in a while, a case captures the attention of an entire community. One such case is the disappearance and tragic death of Haley Anderson, a Binghamton University student. It is a story filled with mystery, heartbreak, and a desperate search for justice that would unfold over months and across international borders. Welcome to True Crime Decoded, where we dive deep into the most chilling cases and unravel the hidden truths behind them. I'm Delitza, and this is the story of Haley Anderson, her life, her disappearance, and the search for justice. Haley Anderson, a bright and ambitious college student, was studying nursing at Binghamton University. She was described as outgoing, friendly, and full of life. A few years into college, Haley Anderson started dating Kevin Ocampo. But when it started getting closer to her graduation time, Haley started thinking about if she really wanted to be in a serious relationship. So there were a couple of times with Kevin where they talked about putting it on hold for a while. Now, like many college students, she was navigating the complexities of adulthood, making new friends, learning about herself, and exploring new relationships. One of those relationships was with Orlando Tercero, a fellow student who would soon become central to Haley's story. Orlando Tercero, a 22-year-old from Long Island, had been dating Haley for a short time. By all accounts, their relationship seemed normal at first, though there were signs that suggested it might not be as healthy as it appeared. Orlando was known to be charismatic and social, but his relationship with Haley began to show troubling patterns. The events leading up to Haley's disappearance began on March 8th, 2018. Haley spent the evening with her roommates in their off campus apartment. They drank wine, they played board games, they had a relaxed night in. Haley went to bed that night as usual, but when her friends woke up the next morning, they began to worry. She had not responded to any texts or calls. At first, it wasn't cause for immediate concern. Many assumed she was just sleeping or maybe busy. But when the hours went by without any word from Haley, her roommates started to feel uneasy. They attempted to contact her multiple times throughout the day, but their calls went unanswered. By the evening, the situation became far more troubling. The following morning on March 9th of 2018 was when the situation took a more serious turn. Orlando Tercero was also missing. His family contacted authorities and a welfare check was conducted at his apartment. When the police arrived, they found the apartment locked with no one answering the door. Orlando's car was also missing, which only deepened the mystery. It was during this time that Haley's friends discovered something unusual. They had access to Haley's phone via the Find My Friends app, and it showed that her phone was located at Orlando's apartment. This new piece of information led her friends to take a more direct approach. Unable to get a response from Orlando's apartment, Haley's friends decided to take matters into their own hands. They climbed through a window to enter the apartment, and inside, they made a horrific discovery. Haley was gone. She had been killed inside the apartment, and it was clear that something violent had occurred. Haley's friends immediately called authorities who launched a full investigation into her death. At the time of Haley's discovery, Orlando was nowhere to be found, and the police believed that he was the primary suspect in her death. But the case would soon take a dramatic turn. Orlando Tercero had fled the country. He had traveled to Nicaragua, and his whereabouts were unknown. The Binghamton community was left in shock as the search for Orlando intensified. Authorities worked quickly to track him down, but he remained elusive for months. For several months, Orlando Tercero's location remained a mystery. The FBI issued a warrant for his arrest, and the case received national attention. Orlando's disappearance prompted a global search, with law enforcement agencies in the US and Nicaragua working together to locate him. In the meantime, investigators pieced together the details of Haley's final moments. According to the evidence found at Orlando's apartment, it appeared that Orlando had attacked Haley after an argument. The cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma, and there were signs of a violent struggle inside the apartment. In June of 2018, 4 months after Haley's body was discovered, Orlando was located in Nicaragua. He had been living under a false identity and working in a remote area, trying to escape the authorities. He was arrested and eventually extradited back to the United States to face charges in connection with Haley's death. Orlando Tercero was charged with second degree murder and manslaughter in connection to Haley Anderson's death. During his trial, it was revealed that the relationship between the two had been tumultuous, with multiple reports of Orlando's controlling and obsessive behavior towards Haley. It became clear that Haley had been trying to distance herself from him, but Orlando's fixation only deepened. Orlando's actions leading up to Haley's death showed a pattern of manipulation and possessiveness, and it seemed that he had trouble accepting the end of their relationship. On the night of Haley's death, it appeared that an argument escalated and ultimately resulting in the violent and tragic outcome. The case of Haley Anderson was one that rocked at the Binghamton community. Her death, the international manhunt, and the revelations about Orlando's behavior left many searching for answers. While the trial and subsequent conviction of Orlando Tercero brought some measure of justice, the pain of losing Haley, a bright, compassionate young woman, was a loss that could never be fully healed. Haley Anderson's case is a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly a life can be cut short. It is a stark illustration of the dangers of controlling relationships and the importance of recognizing the warning signs before it's too late. And while Orlando Tercero's capture and conviction brought some justice, the loss of Haley will forever be felt by her family, friends, and the Binghamton community. This has been True Crime Decoded, a look back at the disappearance and death of Haley Anderson. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, every story has a deeper layer and a hidden truth waiting to be uncovered. Now stay safe and always, always trust your instinct. Goodbye.